Okay, everyone. If you go on Moodle and click under Handouts, that folder, you'll see that for page 50, I did questions 1 through 9. And I'm going to start with number 10 on the homework on page 50 and do a few on this recording so that you can watch to see what I do. So you'll notice for number 10, I've already put sine of x plus 2 to the 1/2 power. It's much easier to work with. And from there, I'm going to use the chain rule. Now, why am I using the chain rule? Because the entire function or this entire problem is being raised to the 1/2 power. So y prime equals, the chain rule, just like we've done it before, is 1/2, so the exponent, times whatever's inside the parentheses unchanged. So sine x plus 2, we're going to knock that exponent down 1 to the negative 1/2 power times, now we're going to find the derivative of what's inside. And the derivative of what's inside, well, the derivative of sine of x is just cosine of x. And the derivative of 2 is 0, so I'm not going to write that. And we're done. So now I just want to clean it up a little bit. So y equals, let's see. Here's my fraction bar. And 2 is on the bottom, and I got that 2 from here. And sine of x plus 2 to the negative 1/2 power, that means that's the square root of sine of x plus 2 in the denominator. So that takes care of that. And finally, cosine of x goes on top, and you are done with that one. Oh, y prime. Okay, so that's it for number 10. And let's go on to number 11. Okay, and I'm doing all the odd ones in red and the even ones in blue, just to make it a little easier for you to read. And feel free to skip the video and just go to the problems you were having trouble with. So here's number 11. All right, number 11, I'm going to rewrite this as y equals, oops, not y prime, y. I'm not finding the derivative. I just don't want the square root right now because I can't work with that. Y equals the tangent of 3x minus 1 to the 1/2 power. Now, let me point something out. This is different than if the entire function were raised to the 1/2 power. If the entire function was raised to the 1/2 power. Another way to look at it is if, let me just erase this, the problem had the square root over the whole thing, which it doesn't. So I want you guys to make sure that you remember the difference because we treat them differently. Okay? So let me just erase this. You can, okay. So here, y prime, now tangent isn't being, the tangent function itself isn't being raised to a power. It's just what's inside it. So what's the derivative of tangent? Well, the derivative of tangent is just secant squared. All right, so secant squared of whatever was in this function, I just now cut and paste right here, 3x minus 1 to the 1/2 power. And now I'm finding the derivative of what's inside here. So the derivative of what's inside here, I'm using the chain rule for that. I'm not going to be able to fit that all in one. Let me see if I can flip my iPad so it'll